Hey everyone, it's TBONE2004, and guess what? I'm doing another commentary. This time I'm not doing a commentary on my favorite autistic fur fag. No, I'm going after another person. One that actually had similar Sonic videos compared to this autistic fur fag I'm ranting on. However, he is a very good friend of mine. Now, before I get started though, I have to say this. Slips2, if you're watching this, please do not take any offense to what I'm about to say. I'm doing this entirely as a satire. I would never think of bashing your own opinion, but believe me, if you look back on these older videos of yours, you'd know how much they fail. And believe me, I know, because I had some fail videos as well. So Slips2, I dedicate this special commentary to you. Please do not take any offense, and I honestly hope you laugh your ass off. Enjoy. Holy crap, man! Could your intro be any louder? Screaming and ranting, huh? I wonder what we're going to be ranting about, Slips. Oh, this should be good. Now, before we get into the commentary, I'd like to say this right now. As loud as that intro was, that was actually some pretty cool music. But I digress. We must do this commentary.
Poor Sonic. Poor Sonic.
Why should you feel sorry for Sonic? I mean, he's gone back to the 2D style. But, needless to say, the fan base kind of sucks. So why should we rant on this sort of thing? Better yet, why should you rant on this sort of thing? It's kind of pointless, don't you think?
Sonic's future just seems to get bleaker every day.
And judging by Sonic 4, I'd say that's a big contradiction.
Ever since the game Shadow the Hedgehog was put in the hands of mean, disappointed gamers that got badly cheated.
I don't know, most people kind of like Shadow the Hedgehog, despite the fact that it is kind of a stupid game. Seriously, Shadow with a gun? What were they thinking? Sorry to quote the angry video game nerd there, but I'm stating a fact. It was kind of a good game, I guess.
Sonic has just totally been going downhill in almost every aspect. He's been failing badly when it comes to the quality of voice acting.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Let's go back and repeat what you just said right there.
The quality of voice acting, the quality of voice acting, the quality of voice acting, voice acting, voice acting, voice acting, voice acting, voice acting, voice acting.
Jesus H. Christ. This is going to be a rant on Jason Griffith, I bet.
Plot, level design, speed, and of course, overall gameplay.
Okay, I would have totally lost that bet entirely.
The only Sonic games that have seemed to be worthy enough to pay for with your paycheck by your professional or fast food job.
In the economy we're living in right now, Sonic the Hedgehog is probably the cheapest game possible. And seriously, who would want to buy a Sonic game? Seriously? And fast food job? Don't you think you're hurting the feelings of many people who have to work at McDonald's because of our economy?
Is the handheld games and Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Nintendo Wii. But sadly, it seems all his home console games, Sonic and the Secret Rings being the exception.
Actually, I think Sonic and the Secret Rings really bombed. The control in that game was just terrible. And I think it carried over into Sonic and the Black Knight as well. Seriously, Sega can't learn from their mistakes.
Are just nothing more than a huge pile of bullshit. Or, in this case, hedgehog shit.
Really? You're going to emphasize on feces to describe a video game? Facepalm. Apply directly to the forehead.
The one game that seemed to look as though as if it was Sonic's funeral in video game format.
Okay, what game was Sonic the Hedgehog's funeral in video game format? Come on, everyone, place your bets, place your bets.
was no other than the infamous Sonic Next Gen.
And for anyone who said Sonic Next Gen is Sonic's funeral in video game format, I give you all a cookie. For those of you who said that. And if you kind of said something different, well, what the hell, I'll give you all cookies. Yay, cookies! But seriously, Sonic Next Gen, that's probably inspired by Spax 3.
Even the name of it strikes hatred and total unadulterated anger into the true Sonic fans.
True Sonic fans? There is no such thing as true Sonic fans. The only Sonic fans out there are fanboys, furries, pedophiles, and just creepy guys that like video games that depict anthropomorphic characters in relationships with humans. Seriously, that's your true Sonic fan.
From everything to a love relationship between a human girl and a hedgehog that only a pervert could enjoy,
Bestiality! Who'da thunk it?
to all the glitches and broken as all hell controls that make the game look like it's trying to rival E.T. in terms of its shittiness.
I don't know, it seemed more like Big Rigs Over the Road Racing or Tattoo Assassins. If anybody knows about those games, they should know those games are glitchy as hell. So Sonic Next Gen isn't the one that could possibly rival E.T. in terms of a horribly designed video game.
The worst thing about these games is that usually rabid and savage fanboy/fangirls are the ones that are buying into the fabrication.
Because they are the target audience of these video games. So why would you call them rabid fanboy/fangirls, quote unquote?
That Sonic is God, and everyone else who don't think so can go fuck themselves.
Sonic the Hedgehog is serious business. That is why they are called trolls. You shouldn't label a troll a Sonic fanboy unless you're talking about someone like Christian or Alex Henriel.
Aside from showing the most retarded and fucking stupid actions that I've ever seen next to Chris Crocker's rant about Britney Spears,
They're just showing off a side of fur faggotry, man. Don't be so hard on them. I mean, seriously, they fail already, so why should you point out their fail that much? Don't you think you're overdoing it a little bit?
many true Sonic fans agree. These people have the Hedgehog's blood on their own hands. In my opinion, I couldn't agree more.
So, the fanboys of Sonic the Hedgehog are the reason why Sonic is dying. Really? That's your logic?
Something tells me that these fanboy/fangirls.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna play a little game. For every time he says fanboy/fangirl, I want you to get a drink and start drinking. It can be any kind of drink. It can be a soda, it can be a beer, whatever have you. Just start keeping tabs. I have a feeling he's gonna say it a whole lot more in this video.
Have never experienced the taste from the sweet fountain of platforming that is Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic CD.
Yet some people will consider those games to be overrated when in reality they have better games to be playing on the Sega Genesis. Say for instance, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Rocket Knight Adventures, Vector Man, among many others. So, why should we cater to Sonic games on the Sega Genesis and claim them to be like the big fountain of youth or something along those lines? Seriously?
Even if they did, their brainwashed mindset of how, quote, wonderful, unquote, the recent Sonic games are would probably convince them that they're not worth their time, which is not the case whatsoever.
That is because we grew up in a different generation. These kids today, or these gamers today, have grown up in an entirely different generation and don't see video games like we used to. Get with the times, man. That's just how it is.
Next to the evil that is video game console fanboys, yeah, I'm pointing the finger at you, Chad Warden.
You do realize he's a troll, right?
These are probably the worst kind of fanboys. Their obsession is so fucked up and mind-boggling that some like to show their, quote, appreciation, unquote, with Sonic hentai or Slash.
Ah, jeez, here we go. Let me go ahead and say a few things to you right now. About Sonic hentai, it's actually furry art, okay? Okay. Second of all, Slash is something that has been around since fanfiction ever began. Seriously.
At least video game console fanboys don't admit that they jerk off to all the ports that a PS3, Xbox 360, or a Nintendo Wii have to offer.
Sound like someone we know? Oh, and for the record, you're a sick, sick man to have come up with something like that as a comment.
But fanboys slash fangirls aren't the only ones that have a gun pointed to Sonic's head.
Oh, really? Who else could possibly have Sonic's blood on their hands, as you so wonderfully say? Oh, and by the way, we're going to change the rules a little bit right now. For every time he says either fanboy or fangirl, or both, take a drink.
Sega and 4Kids are without a doubt helping with his demise as well, with a knife near his throat.
Dude, that's what 4Kids was all about. They were all about censoring anime so poorly that babies could watch it. And as for Sega, I doubt they'd want to kill one of their big franchises. Personally, I kind of agree with you on that one, but still, they wouldn't do that because Sonic is their big cash cow, and they don't want to do that to their own cash cow.
Back when Sonic looked as though he was going to dethrone Mario and take the place being the platforming king.
You know, even back in 1991, Mario was still dominating. Did you see how big Super Mario World was? Did you see how big Super Mario 64 was? Did you see how big Super Mario Galaxy was? Sonic will never dethrone Mario. Ever.
Sega seemed to know how a video game should be developed, with tight controls, lush atmosphere in the levels, challenging and well-developed levels and gameplay, addicting music, and no bad voice acting whatsoever, considering there was no voices to begin with at that time.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.
Words cannot describe how wrong you are. First of all, Sonic the Hedgehog does not have the tightest of controls. It only got better in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. Sonic the Hedgehog has its fair share of glitches as compared to its 360 counterpart. Believe me, Labyrinth Zone, if you are ducking down, you will glitch the game up. There is glitches on it. And really, complaining about voice acting, seeing as how there wasn't voice acting, are we really going to bring voice acting into this rant? I sincerely hope not. I really sincerely hope not. But every other valid point, like say the music, the sound, and the controls, I kind of agree with you on that. But no, Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis was pretty glitched up too.
Sega really had a very good chance to totally dominate the war that was the 16-bit console war.
Yet in 1991, when Super Mario World came out, that game dominated Sonic the Hedgehog. 1994, Sonic 3 sold pretty good, but Super Metroid kicked its ass. The Sega Genesis was retired in 1996, but yet the Super Nintendo was still dominating. Super Mario RPG, by the way. Continuing on.
Today, the competition is gone, and unlike the golden era of Sonic, Sega develops most Sonic games like bullshit. No, wait. That's right. Hedgehog shit.
You're really going to use that word again? Seriously, that's just disgusting. And second of all, Sega has programmed Sonic the same way they have always programmed Sonic. Nothing's changed. It's just gotten worse.
Remember those tight controls? Don't have them anymore.
Because the controller is now free motion and there is no such thing as a D-pad anymore.
The lush and original environments say bye-bye to those.
Oh, really?
Challenging levels? Well, they're challenging.
Okay, I'm going to give you one warning right now. Please turn down your volume because it gets really loud at this point. You have been warned.
but in the most cheapest fucking way possible!
And that wasn't even the loudest. And seriously, the cheapest way possible? Come on, man.
Good level design? Fuck that, says Sega.
Then why is it that Sonic Unleashed had good level design? Why is it that Sonic Colors has halfway decent design? Why does Sonic 4 have great level design? I've heard nothing but good compliments. Seriously, where is your logic in this, Rant?
What about the addicting music? Sega says, everyone loves unoriginal and terrible music, especially the kind that makes you want to take a pencil and shove it in your ear while listening to it.
Then why does Sonic 4 have an addicting soundtrack?
Well, could you at least provide good voice acting? We here at Sega can't even meet that demand. Now shut the fuck up with your fucking questions and give us your motherfucking money already!
Ouch! There goes 5 years of my hearing. Why did you have to start screaming like that? Oh wait, that's right. Screaming and ranting. That's what you call your show. Do you really have to yell like that? Seriously?
Seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if Simon Jeffrey said those exact words.
Dude, Simon Jeffrey wouldn't give two shits about what anybody thinks. He's in it for the money. Vince McMahon? Why is Simon Jeffrey in on this?
It's all about the money.
I rest my case. You're kidding me. There's a second part to this too? Seriously?
Whereas, Sega is slowly torturing Sonic with bad gameplay, bad level design, and sometimes a whole fucking shitload of glitches.
Dude, are you gonna repeat yourself to this whole entire video? Seriously?
All these a recipe for a game that should be violated by the ESRB because of its shittiness is enough to bring the poor blue hedgehog to tears.
How does that work? The ESRB violating a game? To me, you're giving me a mental image of the ESRB logo raping Sonic. That's what I see. That made no fucking sense whatsoever.
If you're a true and unbiased Sonic fan,
God damn it, I said it last time. There is no such thing as a true unbiased Sonic fan. There are nothing but fanboys.
then it probably doesn't surprise you that most of the voice talent currently sucks ass.
Oh, wonderful. This is going to be a Spax 3-like video, isn't it? He's going to sit there and yell and scream about Jason Griffith. Jason Griffith wasn't that bad of a voice actor, mind you.
Jason Griffith may look like a teeny bopper that wooed the hearts of many 14 and 15-year-old girls. Oh, God. Please get that fucking image out of my head. Oh, God.
That sounded so forced. I'm forcing my emotions. Wow. That was total fail.
I'm sorry. But in the inside, he's nothing more than a biased, completely untalented, anal retentive, motherfucking clap-infested cunt!
Again, why are you screaming? And seriously? About the clap thing? Seriously? You're gonna say that about a guy you haven't even met in public? I'm starting to think that you were inspired by Spax 3. I would not be surprised if you actually mentioned Spax in this rant.
So, do you Sonic hentai-loving fanboys think I'm wrong? Just ask Spax 3, Guardian Earth, or Prince of Moose.
God damn it, I need to learn to shut my fucking mouth.
He even admitted that he thought voicing the video game world's formerly loved platforming hedgehog was just stupid.
If that's the case, then why did Jason Griffith put so much effort into doing Sonic Unleashed? Why was he invited as a guest of honor to the Sonic convention in Texas?
So why does this walking, talking rectum fucktard of a douchebag keep voicing him?
Slips, let me tell you something. If you scream one more time in this video, oh, good Lord of mercy. Stop with the screaming. Jesus Christ.
Just one way I know he's only in for the money.
It's all about the money.
Thank you, Vince McMahon. You saved me the trouble of asking you to say it.
I guess they weren't lying. The love of money is the root of all evil. And that's what Jason Griffith must be. That root.
Ladies and gentlemen, now you see why Spax3 is ashamed of that little rant he did.
The other 4Kids voice actors and actresses may not be douchebags, but what they have in respect to other people, they don't have in talent of voice. Amy Pallant is the perfect example. And even though I said that some of them don't have talent in voice, she kinda does. I mean, she has very wonderful emotion, a little better than some of Tails' other voices, but simply put, she needs to stop making Tails sound like he just got a sex change.
Thank you for stating something that everybody else has said. Amy Pallant tried her best, okay? She really did.
To me, the only 4Kids actor that has an equal proportion of respect and talent is Mike Pollock, current voice of Dr. Robotnik, aka Eggman.
You and everyone else's mother, father, sister, brother, dog, and everyone else in this world would agree.
While not as good as Dean Bristro, he really makes an effort to sound good, and I have to say, it pays off. If you want my opinion, the 4Kids voice cast could learn from him.
They couldn't learn anything from him. They were all hired by the same person. Mike Pollock still works for 4Kids, so why should they follow his word? That makes no sense, actually.
Especially that putrid green horse shit known as Jason Griffith.
Okay, that bashing was entirely unnecessary.
So, you may be saying to yourself, what's the bottom line of this rant?
That this video has no logic and you're just screaming about how most Sonic fanboys don't understand what true gaming is, which they shouldn't because this is their generation. They don't have to see it the way we do.
To put it very simply, Sonic is dying, and Sega and 4Kids are allowing his demise.
4Kids has nothing to do with Sonic's demise, nor does Sega. Sega would not let their franchise die unless they finally decided, you know what, we're done with Sonic. That's how it's going to end, okay?
From being the platforming god that he was, to just a big fucking joke.
Broken record. You are a broken record. I just love reusing old clips, don't you?
It's hard to believe the mascot that got Sega where they were in the first place is being dragged down to this level.
And once again, I'm having to reuse yet another clip.
However, there are some things you can do to make sure you prevent his premature death.
And you know what? We're going to cut the video off right here because all he does from this point on is try to plead to the Sonic fans to plead and beg the Sega to make a good Sonic game that involves 2D, which of course is what Sonic 4 is. And then he mentions that if it keeps going the way it's going now, Sonic is going to die. And at this point I say this, I don't want to hear any more of it. So, in conclusion, this rant is unbiased, illogical, and just fucking dumb. If you want my honest opinion, I say this. Sonic the Hedgehog is what it is. It's just a video game. Just play it. Unlike me, I play Rocket Knight, I play Street Fighter, I play Mega Man, and I'm going to be playing Mortal Kombat soon once it comes out. But as for Sonic the Hedgehog, I may never touch that game again because I've sullied my hands into that game long enough and I've ranted enough on it, and I think it's a dead horse and we should just stop beating it and focus on something new. Slips 2, I respect your opinions and you're a really good friend, but I have to agree, this video is just retarded. The music is pretty good, however. So with that being said, this is TBONE2004 reminding you, once again, if you have a bad video, look back on it and see how much you have improved. I thank you for your time and have a pleasant day. In the words of Slips 2, see you next video. And in the words of Junior Fan 90, this is TBONE2004, out!